So
Please
if
go ahead.
yeah, so in a dysfunctional family, like in order to maintain power, dominance, and control, uh, like they keep confusion and chaos, be it mentally or emotionally. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to use our discernment whether this person is saying is he giving us the right guidance uh, or are they misleading us. So uh, at home it has become a problem, like I have trouble with authority figures at home. So that has hindered my emotional and mental capability. So how do I overcome that?
Hmm. So, as you're saying that you have developed, issues with authority figures at home. So, can you give some examples? What kind of issues show up in your like daily life?
Like for instance, like my mother, she would label someone as like she would call them by names, which is to show that like in a very condescending way. But when you ask for further details, uh, she would say things like you should not. If one of the parent is very condescending and she would like in order to children to survive, they need emotional support. But in a dysfunctional family, what happens is they create chaos, they isolate you from the rest of the siblings. Also, people from your extended families, they create a wrong perception of you, and they would call you by names. They would call names to other peoples who they don't want you to associate, because they might think, okay, these people might give him the emotional needs or validation. When you ask why you call them by names, they would say things like you should not go that deep. So whenever I ask for guidance, like be it for financial or emotional, I am always in a chaos state. So that is how the state has been at home, and the same thing is mirroring in the office. That's all.
Hmm. So, see, as a child, for a child to expect this kind of support from the parents, it's very natural, it's very instinctive, it's very normal. Because small children are dependent on their parents, very much for everything, be it for physiological needs, emotional needs, intellectual needs, any of these things. Now you've grown up, right? Now you are an adult. You have, uh, you know, seen life, a few decades of life, and all that. Why is it still a requirement for you that you know you should get this approved from your mother? I mean, um, if it is about financial advice, you could take financial advice from a financial advisor. So, what makes it so important for you that they only have to support you?
Like in the current situation, I'm jobless, so I'm dependent on my parents. I don't have a choice.
Okay, right. And are they supporting you financially?
Yes, of course they are.
Hmm. Okay, but this is one thing, and things that you were talking about, that your mother is condescending, controlling, and she would want to control every part of your life. So keeping the how should I say, functional things aside for the time being, because of course they are your parents and they're supporting you in that. But more talking about the emotional part, then you already know that she is condescending. She has been condescending, and it's her, mm, like general response to take you away from people that you wish to gel up with and all that. So you know all of these things. However, now as an adult, even after knowing all of these things, what is it that is making you want to change her? Because see, I mean, it's like you are saying that she should change. Instead, you becoming capable to acknowledge this thing that she's like this, and yet as an adult take actions and do and make choices according to you. So what's the reason for you to be so much dependent, be dependent upon her and want, I mean, you are also trying to control her in this case. So um, why so?
Because if I'm being surrounded by people who share the same value as I, of this, like a community, then it would be more comforting, I would say.
Okay, so that community you're looking for with your parents.
Like I'm putting efforts uh, to search it out in some other place, like other cities and states, like that.
Okay. Hmm. But I'm not able to understand this one thing, that what is your dependency, that she only has to change or other people only have to change in your family, and then only your life can change. I mean, it's okay to have your expectations. There's nothing wrong with expecting it from your mother, father, and all that. But if they're not able to change, and you continue to keep having that expectation and you continue to keep going in that direction, it's like again, asking the lemon tree to give a mango fruit. When do you feel that this direction can change?
There's only one option. I have to move out of the house.
Okay. So so basically you're saying that you will not face the situation, you will move out of the house.
That is the only option which I can see.
Okay, but you can physically move out of the house, and you feel this will also ensure that you mentally also move out of this thing.
Mentally, it may require support.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Right. So basically, um, what do you feel needs to change in you? For the time being, let's just accept that fact that your mother's not gonna change, your father's not gonna change. You already said, right, it's a dysfunctional family setup. So let's keep that thing aside. Now, what change can happen in you?
Like accept them as they are.
Hmm. Okay. What else?
Also, I need to physically find people who who are like-minded, who have been in a dysfunctional family and have completely healed themselves and overcome whatever challenges that they have faced.
Okay.
Um, so, Vijay, I was listening to this talk, and one thing that is coming to me right now to say to you, um, I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but if it does, then let me know. When you say I am trying to find like minded people, then what is coming to me is that you are already with them. You and your parents are like minded. Do you see in what way you and your parents are like minded?
Like trying to fulfill each other's needs.
They are doing this. And you started the conversation by saying authority and power and all that. So your mother is doing this because somewhere she also feels that lack. तो जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि जब कोई कोई बच्चा होता है वो किसी बच्चे को बुली करता है तो वो जो बुली होता है ना वो खुद भी कहीं ना कहीं का सताया हुआ होता है तो वो कहीं और निकालता है उस चीज को दैट इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग तुम यहाँ पे हो और इस सेटअप में तुम्हारा चल नहीं पा रहा है बट आई गारंटी यू तुम इस सेटअप से बाहर निकलोगे तो तुम भी किसी और के साथ डोमिनेटिंग ही होने वाले हो
I agree because we tend to project our values onto others because we
Have you have you have you do you have an example of this कि जहाँ पे तुमने किसी को डोमिनेट किया हो
yeah, I feel a sense of entitlement when people come to me, they take my advice. Sometimes I do that.
हाँ तो जो तुमसे नीचे वाले हैं उन पे कभी ना कभी तुम डोमिनेट करने की कोशिश करते हो तुम वो अथॉरिटी एस्टेब्लिश करने की कोशिश करते हो
I agree.
तो यू आर ऑलरेडी विद लाइक माइंडेड पीपल
Correct. Correct.
so is this the like minded community you want because you're already there no, I asked I'm waiting for the answer I'm asking is this the like minded community you wanted
Yes. Yes. But sometimes like in order to like sometimes we minimize ourselves emotionally to set to keep the other person happy, so we lose the authenticity in that process.
हाँ वो तो सही है लेकिन तुम्हें ये इक्वेशन अभी समझ में आई है कि अभी ये इक्वेशन जो हमने डिस्कस की इक्वेशन तुम्हें समझ में आई है
Yeah, I agree. We are both dominant and submissive.
You are both dominant and submissive, correct? You're both dominant and submissive, but not at the same time. So basically, one has to be dominant, other becomes submissive. और जब मौका मिलता है तो that person becomes dominant or somebody. So ये dominant और submission वाला equation चलेगा. तो इसका इसका तोड़ क्या है?
तोड़ यही है कि regardless of where I go, that equation is never going to change. Either we are dominant or submissive. It depends on how
Correct.
we perceive.
Correct.
Yeah,
So you are either exactly. So you can change. So you want to change this environment because यहाँ पे आपका सबमिशन ही हुए जा रहा है, डोमिनेशन का मौका नहीं मिल रहा. तो इसीलिए अभी नई जगह ढूंढेंगे, कहीं नई जगह जाएंगे जहाँ पे डोमिनेट कर सकें. पर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि इज दिस पैटर्न यू वांट टू कीप रिपीटिंग, इज दिस व्हाट यू वांट, या यू वांट टू, या इसको ब्रेक करना है, इसको सॉल्व करना है, क्योंकि ये तो ऐसे ही होने वाला है. तो अभी करना क्या है?
like sometimes it may sound favorable to be dominant. Sometimes it sounds favorable to be submissive. So sometimes we get so overwhelmed, like
हाँ,
we want to
हाँ,
become hyper independent.
yes, I agree with that कि what you are saying is correct कि when there are two people, then sometimes one become dominant, other becomes submissive, sometimes the other person becomes dominant. So ये तो खेल चलता रहता है और वो ठीक है, वो तो हेल्दी है कि आप कभी आप डोमिनेट हो, कभी दूसरे को मौका दो एंड ऑल दैट. तो वो हेल्दी है. लेकिन आपके केस में तो एक ही ट्रैक है ना, या तो आप डोमिनेट होगे, या आपकी मदर डोमिनेट होगी, या आपने तो अभी तक वही सीखा है ना.
Correct. I don't know the other path.
Exactly, but you're talking about it. So I understand that you understand it, but उसको एग्जीक्यूट कैसे करोगे? हाउ, व्हाट वुड यू डू? लाइक ये तो थ्योरेटिकल बात है ना जो कर रहे हो. प्रैक्टिकली तो वही करोगे ना जो अभी तक करते आ रहे हो. तो इसको एग्जीक्यूट कैसे करोगे? हाउ विल यू मेक इट हैपन?
I don't know.
Exactly, exactly, and that's fine. That's not a problem that you don't know. It's good to realize that you don't. That's a good point. But you understand ki what you don't know. You understand that very clearly ना कि what is it that you are saying I don't know. ये तो समझ में आ रहा है ना.
Correct.
Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
You are, what I'm saying is you are understanding what you need to do, but you don't know how to do it. Correct?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Huh. And that's fine. Anamika, take it forward.
Hmm. One more thing that I wanted to add to this. So basically, you said when I asked you that what can you do on your part to change? So you said that you can accept other people, or secondly, you said that you can meet like-minded people who are already healing themselves, right? But in both of these things, there is a common factor, which is other people. Hmm? So when you talk about people who are healing themselves, their focus is more internal. Of course, they will be speaking to you, they will be inspirational, they will be all like in for telling you their stories and all that. However, when it comes to healing, it's about you and you realizing your own red flags and your own, you know, issues and your own triggers and your own wounds and your own patterns and your own traumas and all of these things. It's about you and you, right? So people are not going to go away. But what I'm telling you that you're still seeking this healing externally, as if externally चीजें हील हो जाएंगी। जबकि जो जिन लोगों की आप बात कर रहे हो, पीपल हु आर हीलिंग देमसेल्व्स, दे आर इंटरनली फोकस्ड। तो अगर आपको उस लीग में जाना है, वहां पे जाना है, वो काम करना है, उनके साथ वाइब करना है, मैचअप करना है, तो योर फोकस ऑल्सो नीड्स टू बी शिफ्टेड इंटरनली ऑल्सो। एक्सटर्नल को हम लाइफ से हटा नहीं सकते हैं, बट हीलिंग के लिए तो इंटरनल जाना जरूरी है ना। तो दिस डिपेंडेंसी नीड्स टू बी सीन, राइट? दैट बिकॉज ये भी उसी चीज से आ रहा है जो कर्मा बोल रहे थे ना। बिकॉज डोमिनेटिंग होना और सबमिसिव होना, इसके लिए दो लोगों की जरूरत पड़ती है। हम्म? वैसे ही ये सारी चीजें लाइफ में जो चल रही है ना, उन सबके चलने के लिए भी लोगों की और आपकी दोनों की जरूरत पड़ती है। लेकिन हीलिंग के लिए तो इट्स यू एंड यू, राइट? सो दैट फोकस नीड्स टू बी सीन कि वहां पे फोकस क्यों नहीं गया है अभी तक। वाई स्टिल इट इज अबाउट अदर्स। If we talk about healing also, it is about others. तो ये चीज देखना है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आई वुड से कि जस्ट अ मोमेंट। So, apart from that, I guess you can start with the healing journey that we have, and that we explored this particular thing only. I guess we already had a call, right? So, you take that step, start from there. There we go through the three levels of healing journey. In the first level, we talk about, we identify the patterns, your own patterns. So move internal, identify these patterns for yourself कि आपकी life में, in your life, what exactly is happening, which patterns are you operating from, what do you carry in you. Hmm. Secondly, then in the second level, we move to the root cause analysis, finding the root causes of where all of these things are coming from. How did you become like this, right? What are the things that made you this way? And once you have understood all of these things, you have contemplated on all of these things, then going forward and healing all of these patterns from the root level, right? Where they are coming from, healing them from there itself. So these are the three levels of healing journey. And the fourth level, which is the retreat, that is also highly applicable on you. So that is also that I would recommend you to refer to later on. But at least the first three levels is something that you need to begin with. Abhi, all of the focus that was external needs to be now internal, and that internal, cleansing and this clearing up needs to happen. Because if the vessel already has a lot of content in it, no matter what you put in it, no matter how many people you meet, no matter how many people come to inspire you, if your vessel is not clean, where are you going to receive all of these things, right? So for you to become capable enough to receive all of these things, to come at a point where you can connect to this space, that this cleansing of this vessel is the first thing that you need to focus upon.
Okay, I just want to add something in this for you, Vijay, particularly. When you started talking, I sensed a lot of shaky energy in your voice. You are very shaken by this whole experience. So when you were talking, I particularly asked Anamika कि you talk with him. I won't talk. क्योंकि many a times people feel very intimidated by the way I talk and what I say and all that. तो इसलिए मैंने अनामिका को पहले ही बोल दिया था कि you handle this one. I won't do talk much. I sense a lot of shaky energy in you, and particularly for you, I would suggest that we do an energy healing retreat. It's happening in Pune and it's happening in Bangalore. So my recommendation to you would be to attend that. तो ये जो जो भी तुम्हारे साथ हो रहा है या जो भी हुआ है, ये बहुत अंदर तक चला गया है, and it is obvious in your energy, obvious in your voice. That's what I would like to say. Whether you want to consider it or not, that's up to you. But I just wanted to share that there is an energy healing retreat happening, and I feel ki you will benefit from that. So if that is something you want to consider, then you can ask the details about it from Anamika or Rishma. But that's exactly for this purpose. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you, Akarma and Anabika. I would go through the three courses which you have mentioned before joining you for the retreat. Thank you.
हाँ हाँ, वो तो मैंडेटरी है. सो दैट इज द हीलिंग एनर्जी रिट्रीट इज लेवल 4. सो वहां आने के लिए तो आपको ये तीनों लेवल्स कंप्लीट करके ही आने पड़ेंगे. तो वो तो मैंडेटरी है. एवरीवन हैज टू कंप्लीट दोस 3 levels बिफोर दे जॉइन अस. तो यू स्टिल हैव अ मंथ to go for it. You have time to complete these 3 levels before you come there. क्योंकि वो मैंडेटरी है. उसमें डायरेक्टली नहीं आ सकते. उसमें ये 3 levels कंप्लीट करके ही आना होता है. So time is there. If you want to consider, then consider that.